Just drop a line and reel 'em in. It's good old boys, gone fishing again. Just drop a line and reel 'em in. It's good old boys, gone fishing again.
Yeah, it's that time again to drop a line. So sit back and relax and let's go fishing again. Come along as we join John Shaw and today's special guest. Reel 'em in on Fishin' with the Good Old Boys. Good fishing.
Just drop a line and reel 'em in. It's good old boys, come fishing again. Just drop a line and reel 'em in. It's good old boys, come fishing again. It's good old boys, come fishing again.
Good morning, folks. It's Roosevelt Lake, the granddaddy of Arizona lakes, and we have with us this morning Don Iovino and John Murray, California, Arizona. We're going to have a great show today, and Don's going to show us his great doodling technique, and you're going to learn something that you ain't going to believe, folks, so you stay put. We'll be right back. All right, folks, before we get back on the water, or get out on the water, I should say, Don's going to show us the mechanics of doodling and all this fine equipment he has here.
Well, folks, I'm going to show you some good old stuff and how to rig it, okay? The first thing we're going to do is the type of rod that you need. You need a good fast tip rod, extremely sensitive on the tip. The strength has to be in here, folks, right in here. And the tip must break around the third eye and no more. So when you set on the fish, you can get some strength and some hook set, yet you need a tip that's fast enough when you're fishing with 6-pound test that the line won't break, and you need that shake. I use SIC guides on my doodle rod. The Phoenix Rod Company in Anaheim, California makes my rods for me. I use 6-pound test XT Clear Trilene. I use a Ambassador 3500C because it's made for light line fishing. Now you can also use a good spinning rod if it has the same mechanics as a bait caster. A lot of guys do, but I use a bait caster myself. I like to put 6-pound test, like I said, of Trilene XT Clear, and then what I do is I'll take a 3/16 sinker, like so. I put it on first, and I always paint my sinkers the color of my baits. In clear water, I think this is important, because as you can see, if you look at this sinker here that the fish have been chewing on, you can see the teeth marks where they hit the sinker and the bead as you're shaking it when you're fishing deep in clear water. And it gives you that little extra edge. You try to get every edge you can when you're fishing. And if it catches me one more fish in a tournament, that's important. I put the sinker on like so. And I use a red bead, 8mm glass faceted bead. And you say, wow, why do you use the bead? Well, I use the bead for noise. The click, 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 click. Glass will make a certain noise against lead. It simulates a crawdad. Plastic will not. So that's the reason for the bead. I use a weapon hook, a 1/0 Gary Klein weapon hook. The reason I like this hook, first of all, it's needle point for penetration in deep water, because you don't have much of set power down there when you're pulling in 35 to 50. When what you swing up on top is not what's happening down there. It's extremely wide gap for better hook set. I like to tie a double Palomar knot. I'll run the line in once, and then I'll run it back again, and you'll see it'll be doubled, like so. Then we'll make a slight loop. Don't make it real tight, just barely tighten it. Then run it back through the hook, like so. Never pull with the long end. Always pull with the short end, and I'll show you why. We're going to pull now. What happens if you pull with the short end, the line will kind of kink. Well, you don't care about that. because you're going to cut that off. So the long end will not kink. You'll see it'll be nice and clean. So that's kind of a little trick to remember. I don't know, maybe you knew how to do that, but a lot of them don't. They always pull with the long end and you'll kink your line. Always pull with the short end. I will put a salt pour worm, a doodle worm, 4.5 inch straight. This is what I call my rhythm and blues.
Little R&B.
Yeah, little R&B. It's good old boys talk.
That's right.
The idea behind the salt pour is not putting salt on a worm. It'll just wash off. My worms have in the back 1,000,000 little pores in the back. So when your salt washes off, it's like a sponge back there. So when they eat it, it's like scales of a fish. Especially in the winter, they don't let go. This particular worm has probably won more tournaments this year than any worm that's ever been made. I insert the hook through the flat side of the worm, like so. Always through the flat side. Then turn the hook, like so. Then I use 040 test monofilament. That's .040, which is around 80-pound test. And I insert it through the worm, into the eye of the hook, and out. And you say, well, why do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you. Then you clip it off. When you're in deep water, or any water, when you set, a lot of times you'll notice, I will simulate this for you, you put the worm on, like so, without that, and the fish bites, and you jerk, and you get this. How many times has that happened, folks? Well, when you're in 40 foot of water, you don't want to be reeling that all the way back up to straighten it out. Not only does it pull down, but it acts as a weed guard. So what happens here, when he bites and you swing and miss him, nothing's going to happen. The monofilament will hold it. See how it gives? And that just gives you a few more minutes in the contact zone, and during a tournament time, that's really important. If you can gain 10 minutes during the day when you're down there where the fish are, that's important, because we're always dealing with time.
Great tip, Don. Great tip.
Then you Texas rig it. You run it through the side of the worm a couple of times. Don't run it through the middle like this. A lot of people, when they Texas rig, will put it right down the middle of the worm. Well, when you're in real deep water and you pull, see what happens? You're barely going to get that through. So run it through the side and run it a couple times so you get a nice little track. So when you pull, see what happens? We'll do that again. When you pull, see what happens. If you put it in the center, when you pull, nothing. You're never going to hook them.
Really good tip.
Well, now we're ready to go fishing, folks. John Murray is going to show me all the spots today that he's been catching all these fish on and beating me on, and hopefully now he doesn't hold back today. If he holds back, then we're not going to catch any fish in this program. So we'll find out how much he's going to tell me and how much he's not. Here we go.
All right, let's get out on the lake, and John's going to join us, and you come right with us, folks. Let's get out there.
These clear, bright days like today is really when doodling really pays off. It's the kind of day when it's extremely touch fishing, but the fish will kind of isolate on one pattern, 35 to 50 feet, and usually once you figure it out, you can catch some fish all day. That's what's so good about doodling, John. It's not, there's no magic to it, but when the fish ain't biting, it's a technique that can win you some money in tournaments or catch you some fish for fun. You know, if they're not biting the back off a crank plug, you better be doing something else.
Yeah, something a little different. Yeah, Don, I became a believer in your doodling technique last spring at the Fred Hall Boat Show, when you were fishing in the hog trough there, giving instructions. I saw all the different guys coming along, and they were throwing in there, giving, they were getting bit. But Don Iovino gets up there, and he starts his doodling, and every time you threw in to the tank there. Bing, bing. Those bass were just chasing that thing all over the place.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, it
kind
was-
of acted like they knew me, huh?
Yeah, we'll show you folks what it exactly looks like. Here's Don at the Fred Hall Boat Show.
Okay, watch that thing like somebody threw a crawdad in there. Bop, 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 bop. There he goes. He took it. You see, a lot of times they'll take it before it even hits the bottom because they think it's a crawdad trying to get away. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Keep bumping that thing and making that noise. And that big one, he wants that sucker. That bead's making that noise just like a crawdad. My worms are as natural as you can get. The fish formula, you got the scent. So you got the three important ingredients. You got scent, you got noise, and you got color. And you put those three together, you can't miss. You just can't.
That little clip we showed you was, you know, you were seeing it, folks, so you know that it really works. You were seeing it from the fish's view underwater.
And these fish are kind of trained, and you know it's really hard to get them to take anything because you know they have a lot of pressure in there with people watching it. That you know they're not. They've seen every bait a guy's seminar and can throw in there. But I got those big fish to bite pretty good.
They sure did. They didn't want to let go.
Well, I like fishing light line, and if that's what it takes, that's what I'll do. Unfortunately for me. All right, you got it going. Little spinner?
Yep. I know, I'm backing off on it.
Good fish.
Yeah, the old Floyd Prees yellow jacket here.
Bet you it's a smallmouth. It is. Keeper.
Got a net there, Don?
No.
No net.
Just swing them in.
I only have a little light line on here.
What, 6-pound test?
Yep.
Oh, you can swing them in.
Okay.
Nice fish.
All right.
Probably what I should have been throwing.
Yeah, well.
That spinner of Floyd's, it really seems to kill them.
Yeah,
I guess I'm going to have to call old Floyd up and have him sell me some.
Nice Roosevelt Lake smallmouth on the Floyd Prees. Brand new yellow jacket. This is the thing we were catching all our fish with the other day in a tournament. Floyd and I come in second place here.
Yeah, we'll just shake that worm down. That's
what we needed, the sound effects, Don. We haven't heard
there
you
it
do that
is.
all day.
There he comes.
All right.
He's a suspended fish. Yeah, there he comes.
Okay, buddy, let me get out the way.
Here he comes, coming up. There he comes now. A
Yeehaw.
largemouth, folks.
Oh, gee, here we go.
Doodle slide.
All right, Don.
All right. Whoops.
Whoa! He was just holding on there.
Yeah, this fish yesterday, folks, would have got me about $20,000. That's all I needed to win yesterday. One keeper fish, one good Ranger boat, and I missed it.
Throw him back in there, Don. Maybe
Well, that was a suspended fish, folks, and that fish come about 35 over 50. I'm using my Rhythm and Blues color, salt pour worm.
Rhythm and Blues.
No, John,
R&B.
he likes that. He likes that Rhythm and Blues. Fish are really spooky today. I'm going to give them a little bit of fish formula sparkle. When you shake it, the sparkles will come off. I put it on a sinker, the bead and everything, put it in a little plastic bag, and when it gets down there, it'll come off. Throw it out. Let's see if we can catch another one.
All right. Way to go, Don.
We're going to catch
Don
one.
Iovino, folks.
We're going to get him now, but
The Doodle King.
that was pure doodle, too.
Pure doodle. All right. Looks like Johnny Murray out there connecting with one.
Did you doodle that fish, John? Doodle? Yeah. All right.
Okay.
John Murray goes doodle fishing, folks. He won't let me fish his spot, though. I have to come in and fish the bad spot.
The bad spot. You just had 2 hits. What?
He told me there's no fish here. He's out there with his secret spot he don't want me to see.
Okay.
So I can't fish it.
I'm a doodling kind of guy now, folks. While the camera was down there, we were changing film, I caught one doodling. Learning from the master here. Got one. Got. Oh!
He hit it.
He sure did.
What we're gonna do, next one that bites, I'm gonna. There he is! There he is! I got him! I got him! I got him!
All right, Don.
Come out of about
Don.
60 foot suspended. Good fish. He was suspended good.
Nice fish.
Nice smallmouth. He was suspended way down there. Way down there. There he is, folks. Doodle slide, about 35 foot over 60.
Nice fish, Don.
There he is. That fish comes suspended about 35 foot over about 60. Again, I caught these fish yesterday. I'd have me a nice new Ranger boat. Why didn't you do that to me yesterday, girl? Bye-bye.
All right, Don.
That's doodling,
Way to go.
folks. That's where doodle sliding and the different facets of my techniques, fishing suspended fish like this over deep water, is just tough to beat. If you learn to do it and master it, you can catch fish in a toilet. To me, I think, but you can't
I don't know
change
if
that.
I want to catch him in the toilet, Don.
You know, when people say, well, you know, the reason I'm saying it, a lot of people say, well, will it work here or will it work there? You just mentioned to me, will it work at San Carlos? It'll work anywhere there's largemouth bass or smallmouth. They'll eat this technique. And I just think that you have to learn to believe in it. It's just like any other technique. For instance, Floyd Spinner. If you learn to believe in it and have confidence in it and use it when the conditions are right, you should use it.
That's right.
Whatever it takes to catch these bass is what you should do. But first, to do these new techniques, you got to have confidence, and I realize that. What we're trying to do in this show today is show you a little bit of the confidence between what we're doing in the Lake Roosevelt right now and what you see in the aquarium and how the fish take my baits. I think you'll get a little idea, and maybe you can go out and try it, and if you're interested, give me a call. Let's try to catch another one.
Don Iovino. Way to go, Don. Way to catch him. Got John Murray joining us on the boat here. Gonna try a little doodling, huh, John?
Yeah. What happened?
We're going to doodle straight up and down here now, folks. There's a break between 40 and 60 foot, and I'm going to work that break right at 40 and then shake her down to 60. I'm just going to let the line fall and shake it down. And a lot of times when you're doing that, you can get those suspended fish on the 40-foot break to eat. There he is, folks. There he is.
All right,
I got him.
Don.
I got him. There he comes. Straight up. They come straight up like giants. There he is.
All right, where was he yesterday?
Yeah. Where was he yesterday? Whoops.
Oh.
Off he comes. Yeah, there's another bass boat. Bye.
All
I just-
right, doodling with Don Iovino. What a guy. Got him. Son of a...
You got him real fast. Real fast.
He's still there.
It's a doodle fish.
Doodling.
All right.
Don't feel like him. Oh, there you
Yeah, that's the way they are, John. They'll come up fast and then start biting.
Oh, man.
Nice fish, John.
All right.
Nice fish.
Lift that boy. With
Don't grab the tip, John, and a boring rod, you'll break it. No, no, don't do that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just take it,
All
swing it
right,
around.
Doodling, doodling. Nice fish, Don.
Yeah,
Where was he yesterday?
I
John
didn't-
Murray spot here.
John didn't tell me nothing, that's why.
All right, let's see if we can get this fish to go crazy like you got that other one to go. No, he didn't do that dance.
I come in here for about 20 minutes in the morning. I seen John out there, and I did catch some fish
Got him, there he is.
There he is.
Keep reeling.
Whoa, whoa. Son.
You got that doodling. Nice
Yeah.
fish. All right.
Oh, he got hurt. Can you grab that, John? Okay, thanks. We're doodling today, folks. We're having a good old time here. And the bite's slow here at Roosevelt.
Tough
That's what they
fishing,
say.
folks. Yeah. John was laughing all the way to the bank yesterday.
About 2 pound fish.
Nice fish.
All right. Mwah. He's in a hurry.
Primo doodle stuff, too. God.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Till then, folks. See you then.